If I told you that a simple cotton fabric from World War II could outperform the waterproof gear we use today, you probably wouldn't believe it. But in the 1940s, long before synthetic membranes, plastics, or Gore-Tex, British scientists created a material so effective it kept downed pilots alive in freezing seas. It wasn't rubber. It wasn't coated in wax. It was just cotton, engineered so precisely it became a shield against nature itself. This is the forgotten story of Ventile, the fabric that saved lives and still beats modern technology. In 1941, the skies over Europe were a battlefield. RAF pilots flying missions over the North Sea faced a grim truth. If your plane went down, the sea would probably finish the job. Their uniforms, made from thick wool, absorbed water like a sponge. Even with inflatable rafts, most airmen froze to death before help arrived. The British government needed a miracle, a fabric that could protect its pilots, not just in the air, but in the icy ocean below. That desperate call went to the Shirley Institute in Manchester, one of Britain's top textile research centers. Scientists there were told, make a fabric that keeps a man alive after he crashes into the sea. They didn't have synthetic polymers, no plastics, no chemical coatings, only natural fibers, cotton, wool, flax. So they turned to what they knew best, engineering at the microscopic level. And through months of trial and error, they created something extraordinary. They called it Ventile, from the word ventilation, because unlike plastic or rubber, it breathed. It wasn't waterproof because of chemicals or coatings. It was waterproof because of geometry. Ventile was woven so tightly that even water molecules couldn't easily slip through. When it got wet, the cotton fibers swelled and locked together, sealing the fabric naturally. When dry, it stayed breathable and soft. No coating to peel, no film to crack, no stiffness in the cold. It was the perfect balance. Nature enhanced by precision. To prove it worked, the RAF ran brutal survival tests. Pilots wearing standard uniforms were dunked into near-freezing tanks. Within minutes, hypothermia set in. Then came the Ventile suits. Same test, but this time, the pilots lasted 20 times longer. 20 times the survival window. Enough for rescue teams to reach them. It wasn't just a success. It was a revolution in fabric science. A single invention that turned ordinary cotton into life-saving armor. By 1942, Ventile became classified military technology. It was issued to RAF and Fleet Air Arm pilots flying long missions over the Atlantic. From the cockpit to the open sea, Ventile became their second skin. Soon, British commandos, Arctic explorers, and naval officers began wearing it too. Its performance was unmatched. It stayed flexible in freezing wind, silent during movement, and didn't degrade under sunlight. Unlike waxed or rubberized fabric, it didn't crack or suffocate the wearer. In the chaos of wartime logistics, it simply worked. The genius wasn't in chemistry. It was in structure. Ventile used extra-long staple cotton, the same used in luxury shirts and linens, but woven under incredible tension. The weave was so dense that when a single drop of water landed, the fibers swelled instantly, sealing every microscopic gap. That's what made it both breathable and waterproof, something modern synthetics still struggle to balance. And because it was 100% natural, it didn't trap heat or sweat. For a pilot, that meant comfort in the air and survival in the sea. After the war, Ventile didn't disappear. It found new life in the harshest places on Earth. Explorers like Sir Edmund Hillary used Ventile garments during early Everest expeditions. Polar scientists wore it across Antarctica. Even decades later, mountaineers and bushcraft experts still trusted it. Why? Because unlike synthetics that delaminate, melt, or degrade, Ventil ages gracefully. It softens with time, but its structure remains intact, even after decades of storms. The brilliance of Ventile isn't limited to history. The same principle can be used today, even at home. If you take a dense cotton canvas and apply a mixture of beeswax and boiled linseed oil, about 3 parts to 1, you'll create a fabric that behaves remarkably like early Ventile. It sheds water, resists wind, and lasts for years. Gardeners, campers, and survivalists can reproof old cotton gear this way, achieving high performance without a single piece of plastic. It's proof that engineering and simplicity can go hand in hand. Today, our outdoor shelves are filled with names like Gore-Tex, Event, and Pertex. They promise waterproof, breathable protection, and many deliver. But none of them last forever. They peel, crack, or lose effectiveness with time. Ventil, on the other hand, doesn't rely on layers or coatings. It's a solid structure. No lamination to fail, no membrane to delaminate. Even fire and UV can't easily damage it. That's why Ventil jackets from the 1950s still function today, while modern synthetics often end up in landfills after just a few years. What makes Ventile's story so fascinating is that it was born not out of comfort, but survival. Wartime necessity forced innovation that outlasted the war itself. A simple natural fiber, engineered to save lives, ended up influencing generations of outdoor and military gear. Yet, few people today even know its name. We often think progress means newer is better. But sometimes the past already holds the answer, and all we need to do is look closer. In an age when plastics dominate everything, from clothing to packaging, Ventile reminds us of something profound. Durability and sustainability are not opposites. You don't need to pollute the planet to stay protected. Nature, when understood and engineered properly, can outperform our most complex inventions. Every piece of Ventile that still performs after 50 years is proof of that. No microplastic shedding, no toxic coatings, just intelligent craftsmanship. The real message behind Ventile isn't just historical, it's philosophical. It's about respecting how things are made. Whether it's survival gear, tools, or clothing, performance comes from structure, not shortcuts. The tighter the weave, the longer the fiber, the more durable the product. That idea applies to almost everything we build, from fabrics to societies. Quality doesn't need complexity. It needs understanding. So next time you see modern rain gear boasting advanced membranes, remember this. Long before plastic, soldiers were staying dry under a cotton weave so tight it changed survival history. What worked in 1941 still works today. Because true innovation isn't about adding more, it's about perfecting what already exists. Ventile proved that simplicity, done right, can save lives. If you love stories that connect wartime ingenuity to modern survival, make sure to subscribe and share this story. Because the past still has lessons the future hasn't learned yet.